Well, thank you for staying with us. We're going to be taking our first interview. We're looking at PDP National Convention, and that's what we're looking at. A new start for the PDP, the People's Democratic Party. On Saturday, we would watch a lot of the PDP stalwarts. August 12, 2017, members of the Nigeria's leading opposition party would be going from all parts and coming from all parts of the country and even the diaspora to converge in Abuja for its non-elective national convention.
It will be the first massive gathering of PDP faithfuls after the Supreme Court judgment that, of course, led to arrest the internal leadership tussle, which almost tore the former ruling party apart.
Already, leaders of the party are upbeat, describing the national convention as one of reconciliation, reunion, and rebuilding of the party.
So, what should Nigerians expect from the Abuja National Convention of the PDP? What
are the activities lined up for the program? What would be the highlights of the convention? And these are some of the talking points of this weekend edition of Kakaki, the African Voice, as we are joined by Engineer Igbonekwu, member publicity subcommittee PDP. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Let's take us through, after some turbulent times, the PDP seemed to be trying to get its act in order, and hence the National Convention, Convention for non-elective position. When the tenure of the current National Working Committee was expected to expire after 3 months, what happened, and why are we having elections into non-elective positions at this time?
Thank you very much, and good morning to you all. Basically, the essence of the convention is simply to address all you have raised. The short period that have been allowed by the judgment and the long tussle of legal issue, and as pronounced by the Supreme Court, that's a short period which is affecting the timing of the current National Working Committee under the leadership of Ahmed Makrafi. By 16th of August, that tenure will be coming to an end. And so you can see there's a need.
Was the tenure extended?
It wasn't extended, but at least given the tussle, because we cannot say that people is serving within the period of the tussle. So it's by 16th it will all be ending. And you can see that the only way you can get out of the problem without causing another problem, legal battle, is to convey this convention to take the power, knowing fully well that the power resides at the convention. The power of PDP resides at the convention. The ultimate power, the supremacy is there. Hence, this convention is called. And equally, PDP in trying to keep it with what I may call obeying all legal implications. They want to ensure that you buy time to be able to meet with those who are aggrieved.
That brings me to my next question. What is the mood in the party, especially at the state level?
Very, very beautiful. Very, very.
Across the country?
Well, it's across the country, basically. Members of PDP, members of the party are very enthusiastic about this time. I can tell you this because on Tuesday, the committee was inaugurated, the convention committee was inaugurated, and I can tell you the crowd that we saw there, you would describe it as a kind of a mini convention already going on. And that shows to say that people are already trying to work for the party to come back to its basics. And then to add to that point, most people who are serving this committee now are actually doing it on their own volition, without any direct benefit. They're not expecting anything. People are funding themselves to this function. So if people can afford to send themselves to participate in a function of this magnitude without expecting a payback in terms of cash, knowing fully well the slogan that PDP share the money. People are not looking at that angle, but saying we want to get our party to be on the right point. So,
okay, let's look at this is an ever-increasing daily question for a lot of people who are in the party as well. Talking about the seeming overbearing influence of governors elected on the platform of your party, looking at the actions of impunity and manipulations. How do you hope to come out of this? How do you hope to curb this? Because this is the only threat, one of the major threats of PDP.
PDP. Actually, PDP slogan says everything about PDP. Power to who? The people. And this was the mistake that was made that tried to be corrected now. Impunity was one of the mistakes of PDP. And with all that have gone through now, they have learned their lessons as well as the leadership level. So the actions of the governor, the impunity and other things, the party is actually working towards putting this power back to the people. So that the people will decide, the people will say everything. And that brings us about now asking your governor about accountability in what he or she is doing for your state and for the party. And how is relating to the party, especially in doing the elected job they were elected to do for Nigerians. So PDP is working assiduously to ensure that the issue of impunity is buried once and for all. And we are starting it building on what we call the 3R. We want to see reconciliation. In case of reconciliation, you'll talk about all these things, that because you cannot reconcile without bringing the wound. For God's sake, you cannot clean a wound without first of all opening it up and apply the medication. So they need to put up all that. Two, PDP needs to reposition itself. Of course, your opening, you talked about reunion. You can't have a sound reunion without touching the wounds that caused the problem in the first place. So I think that will be taken care of, and PDP working towards that.
How's the wound right now? Is it still fresh, or is healing?
It was fresh, but a recent move by the leadership under McAfee is actually healing a lot of it, applying a lot of healing balm. So it's coming down. And I'm sure when we put through this convention and the follow-up immediately with the reconciliation, I'm sure the wound will finally be healed and they will get back on track again. That's the position.
That's a very strong optimism, considering the fact that, considering the fact that there are a lot of, interest within the party. I mean, it's a non-elective convention that it's going to hold, and you can't rule out the fact that there are people who probably will want to be on the board of the National Working Committee, and the ex-ministers have thrown total support behind, the leadership of the party. But are you getting signs that most of these ex-ministers perhaps may be interested to become members of yes?
Well, see, another thing again here is that the essence of this convention is to buy time, all right? To buy time to allow the current caretaker committee to be able to put their acts together after the long battle of Lego battle. When this time is brought down, they'll be able now to prepare themselves to do the proper elective convention. That's where, during this elective convention, that's where interest will be now accommodated to be members of the ruling of the party. I mean, the leading of the party, the leaders of the party.
When you say buy time, make us understand what you mean. Okay, is it a period to extend the tenure of those who are already there, the McAfee group? Of
course, you need to give them a certain of extension. That tenure must be extended for them to do the right thing. Why are we hurrying? If you want to make peace, you need to hurry to make peace. You take it gradually, you follow the process, so they can be able to achieve it. So one of the process and one of the good things must be done is an extension must be given to McAfee-led caretaker committee. Now.
Is it a unanimous decision? Is it a unanimous agreement?
It is the right thing. It is the right thing. And when something is right thing, it becomes unanimous and spiritual.
But it's kind of relative. If you say it's the right thing, it may be the right thing for a group of people within the PDP and may just be the wrong thing to do by some other members of the party. For instance, the ex-ministers who have been very, very vocal.
These ministers are not independent of the party structure. They must follow what is right for the party. You cannot grow a child when you don't give the child a proper level of doing the right thing. The McAfee-led must be given an extension. The period I don't know now. The hierarchy should decide that. But the right thing is that they need an extension to be able to put things together and conduct elective convention.
So you're saying that this is just a non-elective convention
Precisely
to harmonize all the proceedings towards 2019.
Precisely. Towards conducting elective convention for those who will now lead.
All right.
And then reposition us for properly capturing the power, which we know is already assured by 2019. It's already assured by it. And I'm sure you guys believe that. It's already assured.
Well,
we'll go into that as we go on.
All right, let me come to, it's a couple of hours, couple of hours to the convention.
Correct.
how has the planning and arrangements been? I know there have been, allegedly so, divided voices on venue and, participation, and you know what I mean. Now, how have you come to terms with that? Because that, again, is what we just asked you before, the imposing powers of governors trying to mandate the rule.
The leadership of the party is in charge of the party, the caretaker committee under Ahmed Makarfi. They are in charge. Opinions are allowed. Some people try to market the opinion in the louder places without allowing it to crystallize to the point where people are taking major decisions. Has been resolved. The venue, of course, while I was in your reception watching, the venue is already slated. You saw the chairman, His Excellency Ifeanyi Okowa, and the other group expecting the venue. So that is ready to rest. My sister, where human beings come together, there must be differences in opinion. That does not mean that there wouldn't be a way to agree. And these are healthy. Don't forget this we're talking about here is democracy. Are you with me? So in democracy, you must have opinions and different opinions. But bottom line is how quickly and how fast and how organized are you to be able to put these decisions and different opinions into play to achieve your goal.
Absolutely. I know that the winning at the Supreme Court, meant that the battle was over, especially with the factions. However, the war is far from over, because you've just said that democracy is a growing era, and that there will be level of infighting to be able to say this is healthy. People are competing actively. But what about, being proactive to look at measures to mitigate long effects of some of these acrimony and rivalry within the party? Because you do know that PDP has a lot of overwhelming egos, and everybody wants a shot at the internal cake.
Like I said, PDP's essence of reconciliation is to open up all these points and then take them in at the same time and then look the ones that are relevant and the ones that are not. People that are not happy are so many, due to the fact that there has been an issue of impunity over time. The point here is that with the time we are trying to pick up now, we'll make it a very, very huge use of it to be able to take a critical look at those things that made us feel in the past. And in course of looking at those things that made us in the past, we will now find out that what are we doing? We do the right thing. What am I saying here is that PDP as a party, as it is this morning, is set, ready to do the needful for its existence, for its rescue. Do not forget that PDP is in a hurry equally to build a viable opposition for the people of this country. As it is now, there's no opposition body now. And they need to put their ass in together to be able to build a viable opposition, pending the reconciliation, reunion, and the recapture of power.
The paper says something very significant this morning, that high-profile defectors would be won back to the party in just
the process has already started.
So are we going to see them join the convention, or is it after the convention? Who are these high-profile defectors?
No, it is not yet time to mention names. All right? But I can speak to you that as of now, some persons who were aggrieved are part of this committee. Some are in my subcommittee. We met for about 3 days in your somewhere here in your boss place. All right, for 3 days now we'll be meeting, and I see their faces. All right, so it's already yielding fruits. That's the point I'm making here. So we're already getting there. PDP is the party, PDP is for Nigeria. PDP, actually, forget the mistake that was made. PDP is it, for God's sake.
Why are you so, certain that PDP is the party to beat in 2019? I mean, considering the fact that there are new emerging ideas and ideologies coming up, what makes PDP attractive? What is the ideology that when Nigerians actually think about, they would want to support the PDP, for instance, as much as they want to put their house in order? Because
PDP is party meant for the people. The power of PDP belongs to the people. It's contained in the slogan of party. PDP, power to who? The people. not to one person.
That's
democracy. I mean, democracy actually gives people power, isn't
yes,
it? So no matter the party
you need a platform.
So what is that unique selling point that PDP has that is so sure and certain that once it's able to put its house in order, then it can take over the baton from
First level,
APC?
PDP has been tested for past 16 years, first level, so people can keep tabs of the record of their performance. 2, the party itself, the way it's organized, is people-oriented. If you go to their books, you find that out. The party is built on people. Forget about what have transpired over time. That's the basic thing that made the party what it is.
But if the party is oriented and based on people, how come the people have little trust for the party, and you need to rework yourself to win back that mandate that people should believe in a party that you so said that the rivalry is healthy, but that's what brought it to its demise?
Yes. In course of trying to do that, focus on what you're doing at times, some little distraction can make you derail. It was just a minor turbulence that came up the party, and they are trying to bring themselves back.
Okay, now you said that there's a healing process going on, and
that's right.
You know, bridges are being built.
Precisely.
Can you say for sure, based on your evaluation, when all of the healing process will be concluded, when PDP will get its acts together and house in order, to be able to come up with a clear-cut direction that the PDP will be taking Nigeria? Okay,
what I will put here might not be the party position. It's been my own personal opinion.
Okay.
My personal opinion is I'm the one in the driving seat like McCarthy should be now. I will ensure that if I secure a time frame of 3 months now, I'll be able to put it to use effectively to conduct reconciliation process. If I am the one, I'm not talking about, I'm saying if I'm the one.
Okay.
Okay?
Happenstance.
All right? And if I'm under that 3 months, I should be able to go a long way to get those that can get to work with me. Do not forget that APC-led party is still in power, and they have about couple of months and a year to go. I need to be a very strong opposition that the people will ride on to be able to, put up their views and how they want to be governed, and that which APC is not meeting up. I would like to put that up. So if you're asking me of time, I'll say that the first level will be towards the end of this year. I should be able to have a group of persons that are very strong.
All those high-profile.
That's what I'm saying. That's when I say group of persons, I know those persons that have been aggrieved, I should be able to touch them. Do not forget equally, certain persons have find it difficult to reconcile with, even among friends. There are people that are very difficult to reconcile with. But those that can be reconciled easily, I'll like to get them if I'm the person. I'm speaking on my personal opinion. By December, I should be able to conclude that and then start working to the position of the party.
You know, sometimes, it's curious to understand why parties like yours, the PDP, would have to put in so much effort to win old members over. Could it be that perhaps the party does not have any slogan, any, ideology that could compel ordinary Nigerians to join the party?
No.
Because there's so much focus on, winning back some of those high-profile individuals back into the party.
Can I take it spiritually? It is said that when you have about 30 sheep and one is lost, you go for that one. It doesn't mean that the other ones are not there. I think that's what we're trying to do. There are people who something happened and some persons get angry and they feel, well, what am I doing here? And these are the people. It's what I call focused marketing of the persons. It's not the generality of the person.
Okay, but
the people are still there. Hence, people like. I'm sure your men were there at the inauguration ground. Did you see the crowd there, both outside and inside the hall and outside the hall, just for a short period of time? Harper.
Okay, perhaps let me put it this way. When it comes to the internal political mechanism of any party, you have the big players and you have the people who put the house together, the stakeholders who will bring the money for a campaign, the people that would sponsor and fund the events of the party. Are you also saying that, yes, ordinary Nigerians have the capacity to become part of that league? Or are you saying that the people that you're wooing back to the party are the people whom you need their presence to magnify the intention of the party come 2019, because those people and their presence would give the majority party a little food for thought?
In every setting, there is leadership, there's followership, if you agree with me. So everybody has a role. The party is not looking for these men because of their fund or anything. We are saying, this man used to be our brother, and he had just left this position. Let him come back, he's a member of the family. It's not because of what he has or what, that he's a member of the family is the ticket that's making us to call the person back.
Okay, now the reason we're probably asking this question is because of the, you know, seeming overbearing influence of governors elected on the platform of the PDP. And same goes to probably very influential, financially capable individuals within the party. I mean, when you have a cluster of these very powerful individuals, does it not affect the efficiency and efficacy of the internal party mechanism that ensures internal democracy thrives?
First and foremost, PDP has a constitution, and nobody is above the constitution. They have a bylaw.
But even with the constitution, the party went down and under.
Sorry, let me get it. So the point, I just try to play it as a foundation that nobody is above the law in PDP. Opinions can be muted out, and that opinions can be, you know, taken a look at. And if it favors the party will follow it. I want to let you know that McAfee is in charge, whether you like it or not. I mean, the Supreme Court gave him that power, and he's more assured than before. And he's looking at all those things. Recently, he granted an interview where he has spelled out certain things that he will not accept anymore in the party. Recently, I'm sure it's in the media, and one of, I think, Anambra, he personally was suspended in Anambra about 2-3 days back. Good. So that's the point. We want to call our brother, see, this is our thing. Be with it. But if you become irreconcilable, the disciplinary action will take its place. And
set up recently,
precisely. So that, precisely.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm coming there. Apart from the convention committee, the other two, and the constitution committee and the Senate committee, they are put in place. These men are men of valor and men who have respect for them in their own various areas, who have actualized in their life, and they should be able to embark on these things. So I don't see them talking to people and the person feel because he has money and all that and all that. The point here I want to make again is that the party had an issue. The party had a disagreement due to certain characteristics of certain persons in our party. And we are saying enough is enough. The chairman will definitely activate the character and ethics portion of our party to play. That's the point.
Okay, you know, you said something very significant here. You have said that nobody is above the law
and the
constitution of the party. But over time, we've also seen, you know, in between the lines, forget what we say here on the show. We know that real events in the media have shown you that sometimes money is above that law within the party, because it is money that puts together the internal mechanisms and the workings of the political party. Now, you have said that there are two committees. I know that Governor Nyesom Wike and Governor Dankwambo chairs the Reconciliatory Committee.
That's right.
And Chief Tommy Kimi chairs the Disciplinary Committee. How do you begin to, because away from these committees, the issue for the PDP is precisely funding. Money, and how this money generates, you know, rivalries, because one person seems to feel that they are the ones who can manipulate the mechanisms of the power because they have overtly, you know, personal interest because they are bringing the funds. And I know there are other governors, you know, within the party. How do you begin to regenerate capital or monies or income for the PDP without resorting
to persons?
Because I feel that when you remove the personality and the funding from quote-unquote big, powerful personalities to a general mechanism for the party, perhaps it will remove that power play.
That is the point I made earlier. I said that this convention that you see, participants and those who are working in the committees volunteered and funding themselves.
No, I mean going forward. Because
I'm coming there. That's basic. That's a sign. You know, you need to see something before now follow it up. All right? What it shows is that we are going back to what it used to be. Where, if, for instance, in my ward, in the Iwolo ward of Eziagi local government in Enugu State, all right, I should be able to be doing that, which I'm supposed to do, and other members are expected to do that what they're supposed to do for the party. contributing, paying your little and other things that you're supposed to do. When there are issues that people are asked to contribute, the big one contribute the big size, the small one contribute the small size. And all those things come together. Because in life, there are always people blessed more than the other persons in terms of wealth and means. Well, and then if you don't think that it's necessary that I share with you, for instance, if we're asked to bring 10,000 for need of a party, and you expect me to share 50-50 with you, then you are not grateful to what God has given to you. So the point is that I'm not saying it affecting the party again. These are one of the things that the party want to take a look at, how those characteristics have affected us.
How is the wound between that of Ali Modu Sheriff and the party? I mean, is it still fresh, or is it healing, or the healing balm is still working its course? Are they welcome?
You know, when it was mentioned, when McAfee said, the kind as a slogan, he said, no victor, no vanquish. And that is where he stands. And that's where the party stands. Nobody lost, nobody wins. The issue is that we want to go this thing together. So it's already coming on board. It's gradually. I said earlier, there are persons from that camp in quotes, that are already in this committee, volunteered, funding themselves, like all of us are doing. So you can see the healing band is being applied gradually.
Now, after 16 years in governance, one would have expected the PDP to have put in place, a structure whereby membership dues will be collected. There will be internal, cleansing of people who want to probably, take decisions for the party. How long will it take for PDP, for instance, to be able to have an all-inclusive mechanism that will ensure that Nigerians, everybody can pay dues and be sure that they do also have a voice, considering the fact that the Not Too Young to Run bill was recently passed by the National Assembly. Yes, by National Assembly. How do we ensure an inclusive participation of youths within the PDP? Youths probably don't have the resources to contest with the big players. But we'll answer that question after a Pan-African World. Just stay with us.